Hey everyone, this is Elias from RevMatch Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2022 Ford F-150 Lightning Super Crew. Yeah, now this may be a clean EV, but doesn't mean we can't get it dirty and have some fun in it. Well, let's get started. We get started in the front and we can see this thing is awesome. So it looks like an evolution of the F-150. The biggest thing that Ford really wanted to do with this Lightning or this full EV truck is to make it like an F-150 that just happens to be electrified, fully electrified EV. So yeah, and I think they did that, but took it a little bit better. We have a nice front end. I love these lights up here. So I know the Toyota Tundra had the, what was it? The Hulk Hogan stash. This has the Ultimate Warrior light on here. I want to say I like this more. I like this significantly more. But yeah, we have this kind of frosted color here on the side, which looks really good. It actually, on this side, it matches the Lightning, the T. It looks like it, so it's a really cool design. I love the way that it looks. The LED headlights on the front are really nice. They really light up the road with no complaints. But this just looks so incredible. Obviously, with this being an EV, we don't need super amount of cooling with the grille to do anything. That's what this is going to be taking care of down here. But yeah, overall, we have the tow hooks here. We have the silver color. Yeah, I probably would have gone with a brighter color just because I feel like this truck needs to have something louder, even though this setup here is a little bit on the cool, loud design side of things. We do have the front-facing camera for the 360-degree view. Yeah, I gotta say, not so much for the front one, but the rear one, we had a little bit of an issue with rain and then just kind of like dirt getting on it. It does need a little bit of a cleaner, a jet cleaner like we do with other vehicles, because it was dirty, it was raining, so I couldn't really just go out there and clean it. So it basically rendered that useless when it got dirty. But yeah, overall, I do love the way that the front end looks. Now, let's go ahead and see what's under the hood. Now, normally I cut for this, but we're gonna keep it at this angle. Reason why? Because with my key fob, push it twice, and that opens up because there's no engine. Remember, this is an EV. There's motors, there's batteries, typically really down low. So it frees this up for useful space. This has been incredible. One of my biggest complaints with trucks, it's unfortunately sometimes if you're going out shopping or you're buying something valuable at a store and you're needing to go somewhere else, you're needing to kind of hide it, put a blanket over it so people don't see it inside. And obviously in the truck bed, if you don't have a cover, yeah, all these things. So it doesn't make it a practical everyday vehicle for things like that. But with this, it does. And let me tell you, there is a ton of space. I've seen the Chevy EV. There's not as much space as there is in here. So I am loving this enormous amount of space. Now, it's not just, and again, it's just a matter of remote, open up. There's lights here, makes this in pitch dark. It makes this light up really easily so you can see what's going on in here. You know, we have a little net there. We have a little storage compartment under here where we have the EV charger that it's nice to have. We don't need because we have our own charger, but it is a nice storage area. Get your groceries, you know, curbside pickup, you pop this open, kind of show off a little bit. It's still fun. Everything gets loaded in there. And there is a little button up here. That's the only thing. I wish it were a little bit clearer. It was a little kind of blended in and difficult to see. It looks kind of just like a rubber, another rubber a kind of stopper kind of thing. So you push that and it goes ahead and drops down. And that's it. But I have been loving that storage. It's been incredible. All my gear is there. I can probably triplicate the amount of gear that I have because of this large storage in front. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have in those wheels and tires. we get down to the wheel and tire package, and we have this nice 20-inch wheel with a beautiful black and flat face looking design, and it is wrapped in the 275/60 Hankook tire. Now, this thing is nice. I love it. It's got a good blend. Again, F-150, but just happens to be electrified. Just keep thinking that, because we still, and again, a little bit more, and that a little bit more is definitely in this wheel tire. It does look like a, typically EVs have a flatter face wheel for efficiency, and that's what this has. I like it. It was a really great looking design. It is black or super dark gray. It's just a little, yeah, it's dark gray. It's just a little dirty. We had some fun in this, but yeah, I love the design. The tires are great as well. That's, we have a huge dilemma with tires now, with EV needing to be as efficient as possible, still give you a great amount of grip because we have EV torque and quiet as well. They really have to do everything. They have to be quiet, have amount of grip, and yeah, last long and just be efficient as well. Tire companies, you got a lot of work to do, but these guys do great. They really accomplish everything. Super quiet, still grippy, and they were efficient. Make sure their pressures are what Ford recommends, and yeah, you'll be good. I love this. The brakes as well are really good. This is a 6,000 pound truck. Yes, 6,000 pound. And this has been fine. The brakes have been fine. The suspension has been great for bigger, faster, even just kind of things like this. Just unpaved roads have been great. It does suffer a little bit with the smaller bumps at lower speeds. We do kind of have that front typical bounce that we get with F-150s. Again, this isn't a Lightning thing. This is an F-150 thing, because we've had the V8 EcoBoost as well, and we had the same thing. Also, turning radius. It does suffer from the typical F-150. So yes, we still get the good F-150 stuff of, it being a great truck, but we still are getting some of the downfalls. The turning radius is a little bit lackluster. Surprisingly, it was great in the F-350, but F-150s are a little bit more difficult to park because of the maybe not ideal turning radius. But overall, this has been a really great setup. Love these wheels. Let's see what we have on the side. We get to the side and we can see it's a truck. Yeah, there's nice design cues to it. I love the fact that we have kind of an angular but still smooth design to it. So kind of that boxy, finessed feel to it. But the other thing, we get started in the front and we see the lighting, the Ultimate Warrior mask on, so we see it a little bit on the side. That's because we have the zone lighting in this. So I do have the zone lighting turned on for the front, so we could have seen that design, but we also have lights on the mirrors, on the rear as well, and obviously on the other side of the other mirror as well, because the zone lighting is gonna go ahead and literally light up the zone around the truck for, anywhere where there may not be any light, and if you're camping, things like that. And again, this, with it being the EV, we have power hookups on the front, which this is literally like a generator on wheels. It's awesome. So here we have the 20-inch wheels. As you can see, they look nice. They look like they, great proportions to them. The design is just incredible. The color is nice. What would I change? I don't know, maybe a Meteor tire, I would say, but even then it was a great working tire as on this. But overall, I do love the proportions. Now here we have the F-150 Lariat kind of thing here. We have a door, and it's been a little tricky to get this open. There we go, we got it. Just took two tries. But here is where you plug in. Yeah, you just plug in the charger and you're good to go. The craziest thing is, probably in my lifetime of owning a gas car, I've probably only left the gas cap open, I want to say maybe 3 times in my lifetime. For some reason with EVs, I keep leaving this open and my wife keeps having to close it. So not sure what it is. I guess because I get the cable, and have to put it way in the garage, and then I just kind of forget this. But yeah, it's just been comical. But yeah, we've been using the level 2. We also have the fast charging available on this as well. With this being the full EV, we have some great power numbers to this. With this being the extended model, we're looking at 580 horsepower and 775 pound-feet of torque. So, and it's almost instant torque. You feel it too. This thing is fast, but it's still smooth. It's still super quiet, and it rides really nice. So yeah, that's what you're juicing up. You're juicing up a lot of power. Well, the other thing as well, this does have the side steps on it. Get it. It's a huge difference when you don't have it than when you do. You're gonna miss it if you've ever have a truck that doesn't have it, but definitely you want to get the side steps to hop in really easily to there. And then we have the 5.5 foot bed. We have the nice Lightning logo there, and we see a little bit of that taillight peeking through there. But overall, this has been nice. This is the Super Cruise, so we do have a little bit of we do have a nice cab back here. Now, key fob is in my pocket, and my phone. Thank you, Ford, for providing me with a account that I can use to log in my phone, and I get the full experience I would with if I were to own this. So on my phone, I signed in, set up the truck, really easy to do, and all I need to do is go ahead and unlock, and it will go ahead and unlock the vehicle. Yeah. And I'm in the middle of nowhere right now filming this, and I was able to unlock it. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy locked. So I'll press and hold it. We lock it because key fob's in my pocket, and I go to put my hand on it and it unlocks. It's got the sensor that I love. I can just go ahead and open this up and I'm good to go. Really big door, really easy entry. I'm set. I can go ahead and close this off and push the little button to lock it. It's set there, and now I can go to the back. It's got the sensor too. Thank you, Ford. This is what we need, especially if we're needing to use this as a family truck, or if you're needing to just get this back door open because your hands are full and you don't want to reach for, it's always the case. Your right hand is full, your left hand is free, but your key is in your right pocket. So thankfully this just lets you, with the sensor, you're good to go there. And we do have a way of locking this as well. So I can lock it from back here. So it's just been a great truck. I've loved this truck. So again, we also have the keypad here for your key combination. But we also have the camera on this, the lighting. It's just a really good side profile to a truck. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have in the back. We get to the back and we can see this thing looks incredible. There's so many awesome design elements to this. I just love it. It looks great. Let's get started with the taillights. So the taillights, we have that lightning bolt looking design to it. Looks really good. It just looks great, and then it gets followed by this long strip here to connect to the other side. We have these zone lighting here. These are also the reverse lights to it, which you can see are actually really bright. They're extremely bright. We also have some lights up there to light up as much as possible in the truck bed itself. But this looks awesome. One thing though, we do have the reverse camera. Like I said, I needed to actually just clean it right now because it got dirty from us driving in this area, in this kind of road. But it definitely needs a little spray to clean that because it was pretty bad as far as quality was when we needed to basically reverse. Now, with this being the extended range battery and the max towing package, we're looking at 10,000 pounds that you could hook up here to tow. The other thing as well, you do have the Pro Trailer, which I've seen it work. It's basically makes towing a breeze. It's a little knob. You basically turn it to where you want it to go. You don't have to guess with the wheel. Yes, I know we're spoiled, but so what? make life easier for us, right? But we do have that. Yeah, we have the hookups here. Everything just looks great. I love this. The big stamped F-150 here, and this tailgate again just looks really great with that light. Now, I do have the key fob. The truck is on. You could remote start it. I've been remote starting it with the app. I've been telling my wife, hey, let me know when you're about to leave so I can remote start it. And I've been in my office and been able to remote start it while she's getting ready because it's been chilly. It's actually kind of chilly right now. But it's been cool to have it from the app, but as well on the key fob. But the other thing that I like on the key fob is we go ahead and we press twice, and yeah, the tailgate comes down. So the tailgate comes down. We have the Ford Tough Bed liner on here, which is just really, really good on here. We have the LEDs lighting up the inside. We have the power hookups. Yeah, if you need to hook it up, you can hook it up there. There's tons of connections there. The other thing is we do have the forge step that I love, where you're able to just go ahead and get this guy going to hop in really easily into the bed of the truck. And the other thing as well, we do have some clamp hookups here for you to put a board or something that you're wanting to cut, because we do have a ruler stamped on the plastic back there as well. We do that, we're done, and I no longer have to open or push this up to close it, because why would we want to do that when we can just push the key fob twice? Oh man. So I thought this was a gimmick, and yeah, it can be sometimes, but my father is older. He's 87 years old, and he has an F-150. He has a 2000, I want to say 11 F-150, and the tailgate can be heavy for him. So this would make it easy for him. He's been in one of these that had it, and he was like, can I adapt that to my truck? But yeah, it's definitely a great convenient thing. And again, why work harder when you can work smarter, right? But this thing has been incredible. Love it. Obviously we have no exhaust because we don't need one because it's full EV. So let's go ahead and hop in. It is on, it's been nice and warm in there. So we're gonna hop in there and go for a ride because it's getting cold right now. We get inside of the Lightning and it's an F-150. It really is, it's just an F-150. If you were to blindfold me, put me in here, and without me seeing the outside badging or the styling, I would have said it's an F-150 with a different center console. Yeah, so I think that's Ford's goal. It really is, of like, it's an F-150 that just happens to be electrified. It really is. So let's get started on some details. So we get to the door, and again, we have my favorite door. Yeah, because we have this kind of swoop down so that the mirror can be low and your visibility is incredible. So thank you for still keeping this in the Lightning because it makes such a huge difference with blind spots of massive mirrors. So having it down here, having that little cutout as well down in the passenger side helps me basically calculate the, like, any tight right turns, make sure I'm not hitting the curb if I can see the curb because of that little dip. So it makes a huge difference, especially when I'm going from like a Miata to something big like this. It's easier for me to just adapt to a bigger vehicle. So yes, it's a small thing, but makes a huge difference. And then the other thing we have are the materials. So we have kind of like this denim look to it, but it's more like a plastic feel, like a soft plastic feel to it. It looks really good, and it has kind of like this brownish stitching on it, and some of the trims are like this copper or rose gold finish to it. Really clean, really classy look to it. I'm really enjoying that. And we have a nice wood finish on there as well. But arm is comfortable whether down here or up here. No complaints really with this. And we have the B&O speaker system here as well. Looks great, sounds great. Yeah, and storage is nice down here as well as other areas up here. But overall, do love the layout to this. Then we get over to the seats, and the seats are nice and comfortable. Yeah, we have heated and cooled options. Let me tell you, they really heat up and they really cool you down. We've had, since we've had this truck for this week, we've had temperatures ranging from 80 to 30 degrees. So it's gotten the full range of use for them, but they're comfortable. I can adjust them very easily on the side, and I found my sweet spot. I have my pedals that can also move, so I can, really be further away from the wheel, but still be able to reach the pedal. Especially for my wife, she's shorter. That is a huge thing because it always scares me when she's needing to really be close to the airbag to reach the pedal. So yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Ford, for having that. Then we get over to the wheel, and the wheel is big. Again, it's the Ford F-150 wheel. That's it. And that's what I love about it. It's nice and big. It's comfortable. It does have the nice leather on it. It's soft leather. It does have the nice brownish stitching on it as well. And we have big buttons. We have massive buttons. On the left hand side, we have the cruise control settings, as well as the volume up and volume down at the bottom. And then on the right side, we have the menu options, or the controls for the gauge cluster, as well as the next track, previous track. Yes, I love the fact that we have these buttons here. It doesn't take away, and they're big, and it doesn't take away from needing to have them, in the back, which is kind of my favorite. But yeah, I don't mind them being up front here. So definitely a nice option. But yeah, overall the steering wheel is nice and big, just like you would in a regular F-150. Then we get to the gauge cluster, and the gauge cluster is a digital screen, and it looks nice. It's super clear, super bright, but kind of limited. I feel like the left side, which is showing us the range and your pedal and how much regenerative power basically you're getting back, so to speak. But I don't know, I felt like it could do a little bit better with the design, or at least give me a different mode to it. I don't know, like if I were to change the drive modes, yeah, it just changes the color, but I mean, you're still kind of you're still kind of in that design, which I don't know. I guess it does nothing for me, really. I wish I could customize the information as well. I've been trying to, but on the left side and on the right side, but I haven't. But in the middle, you can. So you do have different things on there for this. So truck info, I can do like tire pressure, that kind of stuff. So it's been a nice thing to have, to basically see all the information that I need it to be, like tire pressure, pitch and roll, if I want to have a little bit of off-road fun. Power distribution has been cool to kind of see what is when you give it a little bit of gas, what's going. And like an efficient system, it's been kind of front wheel drive. Yeah. It's more front wheel drive when you are just kind of cruising, because again, you don't need the rear power unless you're really on it. So and it's still doing the rear, it's just not as much. But yeah, it's been nice. But again, I would have liked that customizing ability like you do with GM. And now the Ram, yes, the Ram 2500 that we reviewed does have a full screen where tons of little customizing things that you could do. Yeah, if I'm wrong, let me know, because I searched everywhere and I could not find it. Then we get over to the infotainment system, and yeah, so we have a vertical screen. Gone is the horizontal, or at least for this, is a horizontal screen that I really love from Ford. And I don't mind this. For some reason, I like it. I like it more than the Ram. I do. So I think it's the way that they really split things up. It's sharper, it's brighter than the Ram. It really is. And the nice touch to it is this guy here. They still added a button to the screen. It's such a beautiful design. Like, I love the way that this looks. And it's functional. It's functional. You have your CarPlay here. It is wireless CarPlay, so no cables. Thank you. And yeah, it's nice. I have my Apple CarPlay playing, and then you have some previous things that you've looked at, which we'll definitely get into. And then we have the AC controls. The AC controls are a little, I don't know. They're like, I keep doing auto, but nothing's coming out. I bring the temperature up and down. I don't know. It's something about it. So I have had to go manually and change things. Also, you know, we're having to kind of do a sub menu for things like, you know, if you want the top vent or the bottom vent. I feel like it could have just been a toggle button, or one of these, something differently than having to go to a different sub menu. But overall though, it's nice and clear, and I do love the way that it looks. We come a little bit lower and we have the wireless charger. The wireless charger has been great. Literally, I can just kind of chuck my phone in there. It's got the little lip. It hasn't lost connection. It's going to be charging my phone. So I'm really loving the way that wireless charger is there. And then obviously it has a little drawer that you can go ahead and do that to close it with that wood finish on it as well. And then we come a little bit back and we have the shifter, which is nice. It's nice and big. It's a truck shifter. It's not a dainty little shifter. Cool thing about this one, we do have the option of laying it flat so that then we can bring the armrest forward, which I'll show you. And then we have the cup holders on the right. They've been great. No complaints there. Big cups, little cups, no issues with that. So then we come a little bit back and we have the armrest. So I go ahead and open this up, and we have a good amount of space down here. We have a little kind of basket up here. But yeah, it's nice. The cool thing about it though is when you do that and then you push this button, you can bring it forward. Again, we can't do it because we're driving, but this basically gives you a workstation. I love it. That's how I set up my cameras today. Just put the shifter down, put the armrest forward, and I was able to get the my camera bag up here, set up everything, and I was good to go. We come back a little bit more. We have two more cup holders in the back there for your rear passengers. And then when we really go to the back, we have the rear seats, which are nice and big and comfortable. Seats 3 back there. My kiddo has had no problems. Just a lot of space back there. So it's been nice. He's been enjoying it. And yeah, it's been good. Then we get to the bed, with it being the 5.5 foot bed. It's, you know, nice and small. It's got the, you know, if you don't need a big truck bed, just to haul small things, but it's still a truck bed. It works great. You can obviously buy adapters and things like that to extend it. But it's been nice. Obviously, that tailgate that goes up and down is a breeze. These kids are spoiled. These kids are spoiled these days with these features. But yeah, it's been super, super nice to have. Now let's talk performance. We're dealing with the dual motor EV system, cranking out 580 horsepower and 775 pound-feet of torque. Yes, that is because this is the extended range model, and this is going to give us a little bit more horsepower to it. So with it being the extended range, we are going to get 320 miles as opposed to 240. Honestly, I could probably get more than 320. This thing has been really good, especially with that one pedal drive. Yeah, basically one pedal drive means you're just like a remote control car. You're on the little, the accelerator. Once you get off, it starts to slow down. But when it slows down, it regenerates or basically recharges a small percentage typically. But for this, it seems a lot more. I guess because the 6,000 pounds of curb weight that this has, to slow it down is going to give you a little bit more charging resistance, so to speak. But it's been great. I mean, I'm half a range. I'm at 137, and I've been pushing it. We've been pushing it. We've been having a lot of fun. So we're going to go ahead and have a little bit more fun because we have the drive modes. So the drive modes, we have normal, sport, off-road, tow, haul. So we're going to go ahead and move it to sport, and description says sport for spirited and engaged driving, enhanced vehicle acceleration, performance, and driving dynamics. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Hold down the brake, hold down the gas. It's charging, and go. Yeah, it is fast. This thing is fast. The crazy thing is when I first drove this, because I've driven this before in a little preview to it, I felt sick. I felt sick because my eyes were expecting an acceleration, so my focus point was significantly closer, and I was expecting it to be significantly closer, but when I accelerated it, it was just so much faster than I expected that my eyesight needed to be way higher and way further, because I was already meeting, you know, that by the time I focused on what was there, it was already behind me. So it's been crazy how fast this thing is. It's smooth though. It's also quiet. That's the other crazy thing, that, you know, it likes to spin some tires a little bit, but traction control will catch you safely. But the crazy thing is, it's been smooth and quiet. That's the biggest thing I have with EVs, is because we're now, you know, essentially silent, is you'll hear every other little thing. Plastics, you'll hear, you know, you just hear rattling, like any other detail. Even, you know, some vehicles I've heard steering racks. Yeah, like you're turning the wheel, it's like, eh. I'm like, what? But this has been incredibly quiet. And the crazy thing, again, it just drives like an F-150. It's got other great things about it, but it's got the downfalls of it too. Downfalls, I mean, the turning radius, it's still bad. It is still bad with this. And you would think with the electric motors, maybe just kind of work a different way of just making it spin, you know, the rear to act like a differential to spin it a lot faster, but or tighter, but it doesn't. It really suffers. And yeah, it wasn't just me either. My wife's like, yeah, this thing is hard to park, and it is, but just like every other F-150 that I've driven, it's been difficult. Surprisingly, the F-250, actually the F-350 we reviewed, was really easy to park, which blows my mind. But yeah, it's been a little tough. The camera does need a cleaner in the back, because it has been raining. It did get a little bit dirty, and when I went to go use it and it was raining, it was bad. Like, I could not see anything. The camera was useless, so I did have to look back. Gosh, yes, right? But, you know, it's always that added, which I always do, but it's always that added bonus to make sure that nothing is behind you. Now, the suspension to this has been okay in small bumps, low speed bumps. It's gonna suffer, but the crazy thing is, when you're hitting like faster bumps or just really bad roads, it does extremely well. It absorbs. I was just, you know, just going on an unpaved road with no issues. It was completely smooth, and I wasn't feeling anything, and it was just amazing. But again, it's just on slower speeds and just kind of small bumps. Like, I'll slow down a little bit here, and yeah, you'll feel that. You'll kind of see it a little bit, but if I'm going fast, it doesn't jar. That was a pretty big bump there. It doesn't jar anything, which is crazy. So the moral of the story is, go fast. Because this thing will let you go fast. It's just so good, but it's smooth as well. I love this. It's quiet. I can relax, have you know, my trip to the store, use that frunk. I can go to the hardware store, use the back. It's just, it gives you such a flexibility for it being a vehicle. I thought hatchbacks had it the toughest, with being, you know, a small vehicle that can still store a lot of things, that have performance but still be efficient. No, trucks have it worse. Trucks, you gotta be a truck. You gotta be off-road capable. You gotta be a family vehicle. You gotta be able to haul your family. You gotta be able to haul your crew, your construction crew. You gotta haul everything, but still be smooth, be luxurious, and still be inexpensive. Yeah, trucks have it bad. But Ford, with the Lightning, has done a great job. Now, who is this for? You need a truck. You have a charger at home, or you have a way of plugging in, because it does come with a charger, and you don't do more than, say, 250 miles if you go extended range, just to give you that buffer, right? A day. I think this is it. I mean, and again, it's not for everyone. That's kind of like saying, hey, you know, why didn't I buy a Ferrari? Well, first of all, I can't afford it. But the other thing is, it's not for me. It's not for me. I need to haul my kids. Yeah, I bought the Miata. It's kind of there, two-seater, but we still have a smaller sedan to be able to take my kid and my wife and myself. So again, there's vehicles for different audiences. In this case, if you meet those requirements, I'd say go with this. This is definitely the route you want to go with. And it's just a lot of fun. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed my review of the Ford Lightning. And remember, find the right gear. See ya.